Hey, this is Seth with In Demand Career. I show people how to get life-changing jobs in digital marketing with no previous experience or education. And in this video, I want to walk you through some of the 93,000 open digital marketing jobs in the US in June 2021. I have been getting so many testimonials and students getting jobs. I'm actually backed up and I haven't had time this week to even post anything. So next week, I'm going to have to do a whole video where I'm going to mention some here. But this is a great time to have this skill set. So I'm just going to walk you through some of these job postings, give you a little bit of insight into what job posters actually mean. And just like, again, just some more insight into this entire process. So here's an interesting thing. You got Crate and Barrel, which is a pretty big company. 3 weeks ago, they've only had 23 applicants. And this is, they want, what do I teach in the course? I teach you to do paid search, AdWords, or actually Google Ads. They're still calling it AdWords. That's kind of funny. They also want you to know some SEO, partner with the SEO team. That's why I teach people paid search and SEO. Bachelor's degree, again, not necessary. 1+ year experience. This is very interesting. Again, this is a huge company, and they're even saying there they really only want you to have 1 year experience. Remember, guys, what you'll hear me say again and again is the number of years experience is very arbitrary. Don't take it too seriously, but if it says 1 year experience, that's code for we really can't find anybody, especially if it's been up 3 weeks ago. It's still up, 23 applicants. And you're going to see jobs in this video. Again, you're either going to see two extremes, like no applicants or a ton of applicants, and I'm going to show you how to interpret that. So this is a great opportunity with a very nice big company. This is a great example here. This is Nationwide Marketing Group. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this one is because one of my students, and I'm going to mention it so many times, Kashawn, actually, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but he got a job. He's only 19, and he is making $50K a year, no college degree. He was working at Chick-fil-A before he got this job and took my course. And he posted, this is inside of my private group in my course. I'm going to do a whole other video about this and some of the other success stories we've had recently. But what's really interesting is that his agency is still hiring. And you can see it says here, work well in team environment, thorough understanding of digital marketing strategy. And even though, this is what's so interesting. Again, they did in fact hire a 19-year-old with no agency experience and no college degree, even though it says bachelor's degree, 2 to 4 years experience. Really, the most important thing is hands-on experience in creating Google accounts, which is what I show you how to do in the course. And what I like where it says here is expert understanding. So again, sometimes you're going to see this in these job postings where it's going to say, you need 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And then it'll also say, you just need to understand. And then things like, attention to detail and being Google Ads certified, which again, these are all little indicators saying, remember guys, don't be intimidated when you see 2 to 4 years experience or 1 to 2. And again, it says 1 to 2 years experience in digital marketing. People are getting hired with not even close to that amount of experience. Here's a random, I showed you this one because look at this pay range, 35 to 75,000. That is a signal from an employer that we're really looking for someone. They just posted it. They had a ton of applicants, probably because of the pay. But basically, this is more HubSpot SEO type job, and they are not going to get, again, they've got all these applicants. And remember, guys, I'm going to show you some job postings like this where there's a lot of applicants. Don't be intimidated. This is where you have a chance to stand out. When you are interviewing people, it is so tedious to have bad applicants. So, but what's interesting is sometimes you will see these jobs where there's a huge pay range, which is huge, 35 to 75. It's almost double, indicating they're basically going to say, we want you to have all these competencies, but they're more than likely open. They say minimum 2 years experience, but they're going to be open to people who have less experience. That's why they have the lower pay up there. Here's one in Toronto. Now, I haven't done a separate video on Canada in a while just because there's most of my students are from the US, but I have been having a lot of Canadian students get hired recently. Tom Pham is in Toronto. And again, I'm going to go more into his testimonial in another video. And then I'm just kind of scrolling down here to see if I can find Abdi. You're going to see in my group, people are always coming back because they're, when there's job openings at their agencies, they let my students know about them. There's Kashawn. Abdi Morrison, also in Canada, he got a job. So there's a lot of opportunities in Canada. Creative Circle, like I tell you guys, again, whether you are in my course or not, whether you're in digital marketing or not, get involved with a employment agency or recruiter. Creative Circle is a big company, staffing and recruiting. This means, remember guys, these guys get paid when you get hired. So if you see a job that's listed through an agency, it means that some company has hired Creative Circle to find a paid search specialist. That means that whoever you talk to at Creative Circle, when they see that you have competencies, they want to get you hired because then they will get paid. It's like an agent if you're an actor. Plan, execute, and analyze, optimize digital advertising for a national brand, which is pretty cool. When it says 2 years experience, again, remember 2 years experience, and then it says you have hands-on experience with Google and Facebook ads. Well, if you have 2 years experience, wouldn't you have hands-on experience? That's where, again, you're seeing mixed messages. It's been out for 2 weeks. They're still recruiting. You definitely, again, if you go to a employment agency, even if you don't get hired for that job, they will keep you on file, and the next time an opportunity comes up, they will call you. So I recommend employment agencies. This is an interesting one. 3 weeks ago, it's only got 5 applicants, so already you're ahead of the, they haven't had anyone apply. Now, probably it's because they put 3+ years experience with a proven track record, and again, there just aren't there's still a very low pool of talent. But everything you're learning in the course, build, optimize, and scale effective paid traffic campaigns. I'm certain if you apply for this with what you do in the course, the experience you've generated, you would impress employers. And look, right here from Abdi, who I helped Abdi, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, through email. He hustled really hard. We helped him change up his resume. But he says there were around 50 people who have applied for this job, and many of them had more years of experience. And I beat out some people with 5 or 6 experience because what I learned in the course with just less than 1 year experience, because he was impressed with the work he'd done and he saw a lot of potential. Which is, again, guys, a lot of what you're going to see is employers wanting a cultural fit, someone who's hungry, eager to learn, and has those basic competencies. So again, don't be discouraged by this 3+ years. Be the 6th applicant for this job. Even if you're not in Philadelphia, again, so many of these jobs are remote now. Let's see. Here's another one that's remote. Cloud. Again, 5 applicants only a month ago. This is an SEO. Again, they want you to know a little bit about SEO and paid advertising, Google search, display, remarketing ads, proactive communicator, 2 years experience, and then experience with paid social. That's Facebook. And again, anytime you see Google Ads certification, a plus. Guys, I've said this in every one of my videos. Maybe I'll do a separate video on it. This is a indication that they don't know exactly what they're looking for. Again, it's if you're hiring a truck driver, you have to have a license. And it's as if the posting said, truck driver wanted, license a plus. Anyone who actually has 2 years of experience in digital marketing doing Google Ads is going to have certification and analytics certification. But again, you learn how to do that in the course. You can definitely impress these guys and be the 6th applicant. This one is in Pittsburgh. Digital marketing strategies, SEO, SEM, and again, this one doesn't even say how many years experience. But again, these, you've seen my other students like Cayenne, lives in South Dakota. He got a job with a company in Pittsburgh. Again, these smaller cities do not have a big pool of talent. And, if it's a smaller company, you definitely have, more of a chance to rise up quickly and impress the people interviewing you. Digital marketing specialist, Zebra advertisement, brainstorm ways to improve client campaigns. That's the fun, creative part of this job that my students love. Creative solutions, ad campaigns, blah, blah, blah. This is what we all teach in the course. At least 2 years experience, fast learner, and this is bilingual. This is interesting. I do get a lot of students who are bilingual, maybe Spanish and English, French and English, Mandarin and English, whatever it is. There are some jobs where, remember, there are so few people that actually have the skill set, but there's even fewer that are bilingual. And this one had 9 applicants. I mean, Fort Lauderdale, Miami is a very populated area. But again, guys, when you see a lot of applicants, don't be intimidated. Like with Abdi and so many other students, you're going to stand out in those situations. This one, 3 weeks ago, 17 applicants. Man, when you see postings that have been up for 3 weeks or a month, it means that they haven't found anybody. Plan, develop, execute integrated marketing campaigns, SEO, SEM. You know, minimum 2 to 4 years. Again, not. This is what I think is hilarious. If you have minimum 2 to 4 years of full-time marketing experience, wouldn't you have experience with Facebook and Google advertising? It says it's a plus. Again, these guys haven't found anybody yet. Again, my whole message with all these videos is to apply. The worst that can happen is you don't hear back, but that's not really the experience of my students. They hear back quite often. Here's another one with Robert Half. Robert Half is another temp agency. Again, this is great. Even if you don't get the job, you connect with Robert Half. They know you have the skill set. They're going to try to get you a job. And this one is 1 to 3 years experience with digital marketing. And again, when you see that 1 year experience, that is a trigger. That is a signal. We will accept people with less experience. Even if it says 3 to 4 years experience, it still say to apply. Like Abdi, you know, people have 5 or 6 years experience, but they liked him. But when you see the 1 year experience, it's very encouraging. Knowledge of SEO, experience with AdWords, you'll have all this from doing the course, and it's up for 4 weeks with 2 applicants. So that's very encouraging too. Here is this one. Now this one, again, it's the opposite extreme. 1 day ago, 84 applicants. Oh my God, there's too many applicants. This is fantastic. I just want you to put yourself in the position of the hiring manager, guys, because I've been there. When there aren't enough applicants, which is what's happening not only in digital marketing, but in like everywhere in the US, right? They can't find enough workers. You are like excited that somebody actually applied. And at the same time, if too many people apply, you are seeing bad resume after bad resume after bad resume. So when you guys show up with your resume done the way I show you, showing that you have the competencies, you're like a breath of fresh air to these hiring managers. Self-starter, search engine marketing, at least 2 years experience, but once again, certification is a plus. Meaning, yeah, 2 years is not set in stone, and an incredibly fast learner. Now we've got digital marketing specialist in Minnesota. 3 weeks ago, 7 applicants. I gotta love Minnesota. Managed campaign execution, administration, reporting for multiple digital marketing campaigns, paid search. Again, guys, 90% of the population doesn't even know what the heck this means. You are like ahead of the game. Even if you haven't taken my course, that you know what these things mean, you are ahead of the game. Regular changes to WordPress sites. Remember, guys, in my course, people ask me, should I use Wix? Should I use Squarespace? No, use WordPress. Why? Because this is what most professional agencies and companies are using. SEO, they want you to know a little bit of SEO. That's, again, why I teach SEO, along with Google Analytics and all this other stuff. So yeah, this is, I can see why they probably have few. This is more of an intimidating thing because there's so many things listed. But again, 2+ years experience, you show up with your experience you've generated from the course, you definitely would impress these guys, especially since they've only had 7 applicants. 3 weeks ago, 39 applicants. This is in Los Angeles. That's still not that many applicants. Ownership, full strategy of digital campaign through Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, and email marketing. This is like a startup type place, A/B split test, blah, blah, blah. Preferred minimum 2 experience, minimum 2 years experience, preferred. Strong grasp of acquisition and digital marketing best practices. Experience in search engine marketing. So again, they're saying to you once again, we would really love somebody that's super experienced, but we're more than likely open to someone who is not but knows what they are talking about. This one is in Chapel Hill, Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area. This is SEO and PPC, minimum 2 years. Once again, not set in stone. Oh, this is a Christian company. I just noticed that. So you probably don't have to be, but if you are Christian or have an interest in that, that would be a cultural fit type of thing. And again, I wouldn't worry too much about the number of applicants. Here is, this is in Austin, Texas, which is a great city. 2 weeks ago, only 4 applicants. Paid search, social, A/B split testing, here's why. It's saying 3 to 5 years of experience. It's, again, guys, this is a great opportunity. They've only had 4 applicants, and they're still looking. So I would definitely apply even if you only have the experience. Remember, third time I'm going to mention it, Abdi beat out people with 5 or 6 years experience. There's no reason that you should be intimidated by this, so long as you actually understand how to do Google Ads and everything. You've done the work in the course. Communication skills, you bring in your project. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why it intimidated people. But I think imagine you're hiring for this position, no one's applying. And then you guys show up, they're going to be very excited to talk to you. This one has 34 applicants. Manage and maintain digital media. Love to learn. That is, again, you've heard in all the interviews with my students, that is like so much more important to most of these employers than actually having $1 million ad budget set in stone. Your attitude, your cultural fit, your willingness to keep learning is super important. Experience using these tools. And then it's so funny, once again, they talk about 2 years experience with paid search, all this seemingly serious, important, absolutely required stuff. And then they say certification is a plus. Again, you would have certification if you were actually doing these things. So I definitely think you would stand out from the other 34 applicants if you apply for this. This is funny because I worked at this company years ago. CGI Communications, back when it was doing, I don't know what, TV advertising maybe. I was thinking it was a temp job I had when I lived back home with my parents. This is going to be, looks like an SEO type job. Account associates. They're going to continual internal education to build competency and versatility of skills, can grow into AdWords accounts. So this is telling me that this company is a place where you can move up. They're going to offer training. I don't know if it's remote, but I do know this, guys. Even though they've had 27 applicants, Rochester, having lived there, is one of these smaller cities. Not that many people with this skill set there. If you happen to live in Rochester or upstate New York, this is definitely a company I would contact. Even if this job doesn't work out, get in touch with the talent coordinator on LinkedIn, get LinkedIn Premium, check out their website, do some networking. Agencies in these smaller cities are very excited to meet people who have the skill set. Even if it's not for this job, you could probably get a better job. You could probably get an AdWords job actually versus, SEO and paid search are both very good. 4 weeks ago, digital marketing specialist, 55 applicants, Boulder, Colorado. Again, they had a lot of applicants, or relatively a lot of applicants, but they're still hiring. So they're still looking for someone. Do you dream about creating a more sustainable future? This is a cultural fit thing. They want you to know what they are about. Digital marketing across 20 plus utility marketplaces. This is interesting because, again, that seems pretty big. That's 20 utility marketplaces. But it only says 1 to 3 years experience. And that could be a reason why there's been a few more applicants here. But again, it's 4 weeks in, they haven't found anybody. And the salary, and this is an entry-level salary. This is why they're not going to get people with 3 years of experience for $45,000 or $50,000. This is fantastic entry-level pay, or even into your second year. But this is a really good opportunity. It says hands-on experience with Google Ads, which is again, very funny. If you're 1 to 3 years experience, you should have some hands-on experience with these platforms. It all indicates that out of the 55 applicants they've gotten, they have not found somebody impressive yet. All right, we're almost done. This one's been up for a month with 25 applicants. Support, lead generation, SEO, again, 3+ years. Why did I? Yeah, I hope you're getting the idea at this point. I wanted to. This one has had over 200 applicants. It's been up for a month. Clearly, they have not found anyone to do their SEO and SEM. Proven experience, solid. Oh, I like this one. Knowledge. Experience in setting up and optimizing PPC campaigns. Well, if you have, this one doesn't even have the number of years on the. Oh yeah, it says minimum 2 years, but. Clearly, if it just says experience in setting up and optimizing campaigns. So this is another great one where, remember guys, when they've had over 200 applicants and they haven't hired anyone, it means they've gotten so many bad resumes. You get to show up, you get to be the knight in shining armor, Prince Charming, whatever you want to call it, and really stand out. And then, what was this one? I'm going to wrap it up because I know this is going a little long. This is another one that has 4 applicants. And why did I can't remember why I put this one in here. This is a local one, but Google Ads certifications, you know, they want someone with 3 years of Google Ads experience and they're paying this much. They're never going to find anyone like that. So, and they're not open to remote work. So my point with this one was to say, look, a company like this is either A, going to get frustrated because they can't find anybody locally and then become, you know, open themselves up to remote work, or B, there are still this is to encourage you, if you, wherever you live, to look locally, because there are remote jobs, but there may also be an in-person job. Okay, last thing I wanted to say, because I opened so many of those tabs, I started to lose track of why I picked particular jobs. But here's the last one here is we just looked at that one. Here it is. I gotta close some of these tabs. This is digital marketing campaign manager. You know, 51 applicants in Toronto. This guy, Usman, literally reached out to me because he's already hired 2 of my students. Strategize and build new pay-per-click digital marketing campaigns. And here's what I love it says. It actually says, this one actually says the truth, at least 6 months of experience or training in Google Ads. That is fantastic. And actually Kevin, who got a job there, shared it in my group because they are actively looking. I love seeing, now this is only for Canadian residents, but this type of thing happens all the time. And I'm so like proud and happy for my students who've been hired. And I thought something was really funny because for some reason somebody commented on this thread from 2019, and what I think is so funny is that this is from Matt Kerr, who you've seen me interview because now he is you know, a manager at a big agency, at an agency, making over $70,000 a year. And I love that his post from when he was a student is still here, like literally less, well, I guess that was about little less than 2 years ago. So I'm just, you know, I'm thrilled with what's been happening. And I wanted to leave and the fact that students are coming back to post job opportunities, and again, people are getting hired. And I actually had someone get hired in Australia. I'm going to post about that pretty soon. But you know, what I focus on in these videos is mostly the United States, and now I'm again expanding out to Canada because there have been a lot of hires in Canada. But 93,000 open jobs in the United States, guys. I only have time to go through just like literally not even 1%. I think 1% would be 900. So I can only do like 0.001%. It's still a great time to get these skill sets. I hope this has inspired you, given you a little bit of insight, and feel free to comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video.